We'll do it live.
All right, let's
Are
go.
we live?
How's everybody doing?
ready
Dad,
for
turn
Shark
it back
Tank, baby.
on. It's not looking good on your end.
Oh God, I'm too pretty to be blurry. I don't understand.
You sure it's not your internet, McKinney? It looks fine on my side.
I'm pretty sure it's his. You look good. Everybody, who has good pictures? Can you tell who has good internet? Let us know. Bill Day's in the crowd. Bill, good to see you.
How do I look is the question. Do I look like a chiseled, handsome real estate investor who's ready to set the world on fire? Or am I blurry and you guys can't tell?
That's the question. Let us know.
Because I am a chiseled, handsome real estate investor who's ready to set the world on fire. Either way. Whether
So
it's
if you
blurry
can't
on
see
your
that-
end or not, that's just the facts of life, guys.
I love it. Bippity
lost
Boppity
the
says you're
dog.
blurry. Not a
People are saying I'm
chiseled real
blurry?
estate
How dare you
investor.
say I'm blurry? Damn it.
Well, we've got a couple deals to talk about today. Me and my dad just went under contract on a deal 45 minutes ago. And then you also wanted to talk about your Rincon hotel. And then Emmanuel is supposed to come on, and he has a deal to present. So once he comes in, we'll do his deal and get going.
Let's do the little flip that's right here in my neighborhood. And,
all right.
guys, if you were watching the Monday Night Live last night, we did something we've never done before for the Monday Night Live number 108. We drove to a potential flip that a wholesaler had, and we called and made an offer on the fly. I think, guys, we did that over like a 10-minute period of time. We drove from the airport. McKenna picked me up, and we called, made the offer. Well, they didn't accept our offer last night, but they accepted it today. We did come up after a little bit of negotiating back and forth, but we, I think the cool part is that we did it live on Monday night last night, made an offer super fast, right? Before we even got in it. And then today, when we went in it, the house was just magically much better on the inside than it was on the outside. I would say 9 out of 10 times what you see on the inside or what you see on the outside is what the inside's going to look like. In this case, the house was really in good shape. There were people that were living there just a couple weeks ago and they just moved out. So the house is a little bit dirty. It's an off-market deal, so it's never been out there to the world. And the really fun part of this deal for me is that I could walk to this house, and I like to do deals where I'm close by. So we've sold the house directly across the street from it a couple of years ago after a fire for like $250,000, and we're buying this house, which is a little bit bigger and block. Our house was half wood frame and it had a fire, and we're buying it for like $235,000. So that's pretty good. It's been 2 or 3 years since I sold that house that had the fire. This one's a bigger house in, I would think, better shape. And by the time we're done with it, we'll be in much, much better shape than what we sold. So we like this deal.
Where's this thing at?
I'm looking at comps here. I don't know what this $60,000 comp is, but that's not right. That might just be the land. Looks like this also sold for $400,000. There's something weird with this comp, but this is right down the street. You've got a new build for $579,000, a little 3.2.
Yeah, I hate that they built that $579,000 house, because if they had just spent a little bit more money, I've actually done content about that. If they had just spent a little bit more money and built a 2-story house, they'd have been selling for $1 million. I don't know what the
I think so.
thinking there. I don't know why they did that.
This 3-bed, 2-bath, super cute, really nice, similar size, sold for $450 over on Grant Avenue. This is about 1 block away. So we're thinking, guys, we can buy it for $330 or $235. Then there's 2 options. We can either just paint it, clean it, sell it as is on the market. And I think that we could sell it for $350 looking at these numbers pretty easily. I think that makes sense. I mean, what's this one for $305? A 2.2, way smaller. I'm this 3.1. Ours is a 3.1. Sold for $360. Similar.
There was a 3.1, same size, sold for $360. That's our comp.
That's a good comp. I mean, it's hard to think that it's going to go for less than $350 just cleaned up. Or we can add a bathroom, make it a true 3.2, and aim to get $400, $425, which a 3.2 is definitely a better. A 3.2 is significantly better than a 3.1.
A lot easier to sell.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to sell. And going to the second bathroom just adds a ton of value. So those are our 2 options. Yeah. What else do we have to say about this deal? It's a pretty straightforward deal. You know, when we buy them in less than 24 hours, that's how you know it's a good deal. We get pretty excited about them and we say yes.
I actually was looking at comps again last night after we finished the Monday Night Live, and then I came home after being away for a month. And I was just thinking, do I not buy that house or do I buy that house? If I buy that house, McKenna and I pick up an extra 70 or 80 grand this year. Almost certainly we can fix this house up this month. We'll close on it next week. If we just do the light renovation, have it back on the market by the end of March. So we're selling in the springtime, which is perfect. And it's in an area that we know it's going to sell. We know what it's going to sell for. Do I pass on it because I just don't want to do the work, or do I basically pick up an extra full-time job and make an extra 70 grand? If we put the bathroom in there, I think we make over 100 grand. And that's really the only decision at this point. Now we've decided to buy it. Last night I was kind of on the fence because I'm not really looking to buy another house. I don't need a flip in Orlando, Florida. I like to invest in Puerto Rico more than I like to invest in Orlando right now. But damn, they want to give me 70 grand to $125,000 in profit. It's hard to pass that up. So at the end of the day, we negotiated on it. We ended up getting it under contract, and now we'll close on it next week.
I've got one that sold 9 months ago. It's a 3.1, sold for $350. This is a wood frame house, and ours is block.
Wow.
Yeah, and being block is a big deal too.
Being block is significantly better.
In Florida or Puerto Rico, being block is obviously way more valuable than wood frame. It's less of a big deal in Florida than it is in Puerto Rico. Wood frame houses just don't have a ton of value on the island of Puerto Rico. But in Florida, they're pretty common. The house that I sold across the street that I told you I sold for $250 after the fire was like half wood frame, half block. If it had been all block, it would have probably reached a little higher number a couple years ago.
Look at this shit box, sold for $350, 3 doors down.
Wow.
I mean, and it looks
how many square feet is that?
1,500. It says it's a 1-bed, 2-bath. So something weird on the inside.
That's a pretty funky floor plan, 1-bed, 2-bath. But
yeah.
1,500 square feet is big.
And I mean, but it looks like it's a disaster.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's interior photos on any of these sites.
I'll say something else about this deal. So we will fix it up and put it on the market. I've already talked to our lender, Bill Halleck, and if for some reason we can't get the number we want, like let's say we put it on the market and the market crashes, just falls through the floor, we would be able to refinance this with the DSCR loan and pull out all of the money and turn it into a rental property. And this is in an area where they're tearing down these houses, and then when they rebuild a house, they build a big 2,500 square foot 2-story house, and they sell those things for $1 million, $1.2 million. And we see that happening more and more in this neighborhood. And that's going to continue, right? Like, so if we did end up in a worst case scenario, that wouldn't be all bad because we'd have a rental property that would cash flow, have no money in it, and maybe we hang on to it for 5 or 6 years, and then we have a place where they're tearing houses down and selling for $2 million. So there's just tons and tons of good reason for us to buy this property. Not to mention if we're renovating stuff where it's 1 minute away, if something goes wrong, we're only 1 minute away.
It makes it pretty easy. If anybody's interested in doing this deal with us, we're looking for a hard money lender. We think that we have someone already, but I don't want to close it out. So if this is the type of deal that you're interested in being in, it doesn't get much simpler than this. But say something in the chat if you're interested, and we'll talk to you about it. I do think we've got someone already, but I'm not 100% sure.
And how many people do we have watching, McKenna?
21
people. How many likes do we have?
That I don't know. Let me pull up YouTube here.
Guys, hopefully that number matches up. 21 people watching. We should have at least 42 likes because you guys can like it at least on 2 different accounts.
Looks like we've got 8 likes.
Come on.
Not enough.
What's going on? That means 13 people don't like the video. Why do you hate us? There's a Don. What's going on, Don?
Who hates us?
The people that
Apparently
haven't liked the video
won't give us a like. Only 8 out of 21 people, so 13 people think we're terrible.
Those are people, they'll never be real estate investors unless they like the video.
My goodness.
They got analysis paralysis for that like button.
Yeah.
I saw Lewis in the lobby. Did he have a deal, guys?
Sorry, guys, I was cutting in and out. I was in Old San Juan and the phone took a shit. But we're back. We're looking at deals in here. I think there's 2 really good deals here. We'll see.
In Old San Juan?
Yeah, I'll tell you offline. No one's gonna know until I have it on the contract.
No one can know. They're good deals when you won't broadcast them on the YouTube live. They're top secret. They're good deals.
They're top secret until I put them on the contract.
Let's bring in Emmanuel and talk about what he's got going on. Emmanuel, hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
Emmanuel, my man.
What's going on, guys?
We hear you have a deal.
I have a deal. I can't share my screen. If you can share your screen, I send it through the Apex chat. Or let me see if I can forward. Give me a second.
Just a
WhatsApp?
reminder for everybody else, Emmanuel has special privileges, or at least he thinks he does, but everybody else needs to fill out the form so we can all get the info beforehand.
Emmanuel just gets deals left and right. He gets them so fast that
they show up on the YouTubes.
We have to give him special privileges because his deals, boom, boom, boom. He just keeps.
There's no special privilege. Nothing special is happening. This is just how real estate investors work. Nobody takes pictures. Nobody knows how to present deals.
Nobody knows how to use technology.
It only took you a whole year of me shouting at you to get it right.
Only a whole year.
Look at this beautiful photo he sent
around
us,
and looked
Don.
at real estate with me.
Couldn't even roll the window down for the photo.
No, because the window doesn't work, so it can't roll down. So I had to take it. And it was raining, so I didn't want to get wet,
Oh,
what did I tell you was repairs there? 2 or 3? 200.
So what we're looking at
got the picture
is there's the pictures and the videos. It's a multifamily house in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's like in the middle of San Juan. In that video, it's like all dirty. It's got a lot of trash and everything. They already cleared out almost all of that.
They already cleared it out. Okay.
Yeah, most of it, anyways. It's 4 units, or it's technically 3 units. Can be converted into 4.
Are there 4 meters?
There is only 1 meter. There's only 1 meter. But there are 4 bathrooms, so it's very easily convertible into 4. But if you wanna add the meters, you could, but I'd say keep it as is. It's not the first place to have 1 meter with multiple apartments. And that same street, there's like I'd say probably like 6 more multifamilies just on that street alone. They all basically took off the little gate in the front and did parking, and then just added units. Um, so yeah, it's 4 units, and I'm offering it for 90,000. Stuff over here in this area sells for around 220, 230, 240. The 2 comps I have sold for 250. There's one that sold for 200, but none of them were renovated, and they're also smaller than the one that we're looking at right now.
What do you
How many
think?
square feet is this house?
Square
Total.
feet is I did a magic plan. It's like 1,200 livable, and then it's like 1,600 total with the garage and everything.
So very small units. If you have 4 units divided by 12,
They're all
Very
one
small,
bedroom,
Rob.
1 bath.
Very small.
yeah.
What could it bring in rent if you had all 4 units rented?
So net it's like 2,700 a month.
Net.
Net, yeah. Gross
Damn.
is like
You're
30.
gonna get how much a unit then for a hotel room?
So they're around 8 to 900 a month.
Wow.
1 bedroom, 1 bath.
Rents have really gone up in San
Yeah.
Juan, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that area is really good. I went by yesterday and I saw the house. I think the area is good. The house, I'm not too happy about it. My renovation cost for that was pretty high because I was factoring in that electrical and plumbing there were there's stuff existing there, but a lot of it needs work. So
Adon, would you? And I know you and I have this discussion or argument all the time. Would you leave it as 1 meter, or would you spend the money and make it 4 meters?
so that would depend, right? If all 4 units had a breaker box for each individual unit and they were all running off 1 meter, I wouldn't care. But
Okay.
you have to put breaker boxes in every unit. That means you're doing electrical anyway.
Yeah.
And you're gonna drop that wall in the front to make additional parking. You might as well just try to add 3 more meter banks and just have all 4 units, and then your gross goes up. But yeah, you do have an additional cost. But for the number I was putting in, I think I was factoring in for that.
So, what do you think the difference is between? Obviously, you have to redo the wiring and the electrical and put in the banks, not the meter
You have
bank,
to
but
individualize everything.
the breaker boxes.
The
You're going to
breaker box.
spend what, $8,000 for that electrical alone, and then if you add the meters, you're going to spend an extra 10
Per
or
unit?
12.
You mean $8,000 per unit?
No,
$8,000 total.
I was saying $8,000 total, not putting in extra meters. I $20,000 if you put in the meters. Am I off on that?
I think 12 makes more sense for the individual
Okay.
for the boxes, and I think for the meters, depending how much the box is, I don't know right now how much it is, but I'd say yeah, maybe like another 15.
So you're talking about 12 or 27.
Yeah.
So that's a big amount of money. In my opinion, guys, if you're going to buy it to keep it as a rental property, I probably wouldn't add the meters. Obviously you have to make the electricity work. So
Yes,
you're going to spend the 12 regardless.
But I looked at it like this. So from the information Emmanuel was giving me, I'm obviously going to buy it to flip. I don't want to keep anything. If I were to buy it to flip, he's telling me that he's getting comps for things that aren't renovated in the high 200s, in the mid 200s. So I'm factoring that if I have the new renovated product on the block with all the bells and whistles, I should be able to get above 250.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong, but that's me
Well-
with the limited amount of research that I did right away.
Well,
and that's
I
what we
did-
talk about all the time. Just make quick offers.
I did my
get the numbers out of
comps.
the way.
I did my comps, and I found that you could easily sell this renovated for anywhere between 240, 250, because those 250 is 2 of the comps and 1 is at 200. So easily you could get 250 for this. And I had someone else who came by and basically confirmed that they saw other comps for this and they were around that as well. So, if you renovate this, you're going to have a brand new property. You can easily ask for 260, 270. And plus, the comps that I found were, 3-4 months old. So if you're going to do this, let's say
Oh,
you
that's
take
good.
3-4 months,
Yeah.
while you sell this, the comps will go up.
It does seem like we're still in a market in Puerto Rico where the comps are going up.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think
so
it'll
what,
go
what
up,
do you guys think the
50,000, but
renovation projection is on this house?
well, I had a contractor come by because my original plan was to keep this. And
Okay.
I had a contractor come by and give me a quote of 55 to 60.
Okay. 60 grand.
60 grand. So my total budget for this was about 120, because of where I was buying it. But I decided not to because I didn't really have a plan on how to keep it. I was planning to refinance, but I'm not set up for that yet. So I decided to wholesale it. And I had someone else come by yesterday who basically said, yeah, I think this takes probably like, 50, 55, 60. Adam's numbers are a little bit higher because, I think he's factoring in if he put in the meters and all that. But we're not too far off.
No.
Yeah,
Gary
well,
asked a good question, guys. He said, "Will the banks finance without the meters?"
They will.
yeah,
They will.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to ask the question, just looking at the house, would you be better off making it a 2-unit or maybe even a 1-unit instead of 4 units?
So,
I thought the same thing. I thought putting it back to a single family, but they fucking chopped that thing up.
I saw
need-
that they chopped it up, but guys, it's cheaper to knock down some of those interior shit walls and get rid of the maze.
yeah, but if you're still spending 60 grand, you're not
gonna
gonna
have
get.
to.
Yeah, like your comps in the area are higher for multifamilies than they are for single families.
They
Single
are. Okay.
families range.
So you did that math, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So single family is gonna sell for 180, 170, 190 maybe. I don't think they
Got
get
it.
to 200. So if you're gonna sell multifamilies in the area are selling higher than single families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thought process still, even if you're going to keep it a multifamily, maybe you make one of the units a little bit bigger. You keep it as 3
Yeah.
units. I would keep 1 meter in that case. Then you're selling a true house hack. Someone could buy it, get bank financing,
Yep.
live in the nicer unit or live in one of the small units, either way, but then have the other 2 units paying the mortgage on it. And I think 3 units would still cover your entire mortgage
They would.
payment. You bought it for
I think.
250.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah.
And then if someone bought it from you, Emmanuel, and they're all in for 150, and they're selling for 250, that's a pretty damn nice little flip, guys.
Yeah, yeah. And even if you keep it, so if you buy it, you fix it up and you refinance, which, it isn't as common here, but I have been talking to a lot of people who have been refinancing lately, and it is possible. So if you refinance, you can get a lot of cash out of this. So you built up equity because you fixed it up and you can get cash out of it. So that's another play someone else could do.
When do you need to close?
So I'm buying it with someone else. So we're gonna close on it, I think tomorrow, and then we're basically gonna do what we did for that house we sold, Edward. So we're gonna keep it and basically sell it,
You're
regular
gonna
sale.
close on it and then sell it down the road so that
Yep.
yeah, got
So
it.
we're gonna sell it immediately, but while someone can have more time so they can do their due diligence or whatever.
Are you buying it with the hound dog?
With who?
Elvis.
Oh no.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
No. I'm buying it. Hopefully, I'm buying it with Eduardo.
Oh, great.
Yeah. We talked about it. He went to see it, and we were kind of deciding on what he was gonna do. Like I was first offering it to him as a flip for himself. He wasn't too sure, and we kind of went back and forth. And I said, hey, if you're not too sure, we could also do this and just wholesale it because I got to close quick on this thing. So I don't got to go off running to look for a buyer. We can close on it and then you make a little bit of cash. I make a little bit of cash. So I think it's a win-win.
You guys follow what Emmanuel is saying there. He doesn't have the money to buy this house, but he's got a deal. And I
Yep.
think anyone that looks at it and sees, hey, it needs a whole bunch of work and it could be worth a lot more after you fix it up. So yeah, it's definitely a deal, and you don't want to lose something. So it's better for him to partner with somebody who's got the money and give up a portion of what he's going to sell it for. I love that. That's a great structure, and good for you, good for Edward. Nice job.
Kenneth
Yeah,
just made a comment here. He says he's looking at a multifamily in Garabo, 2-unit, that asking's around 140 and it needs 40K. Net operating income is 13%. Kenneth, I mean, I think Emmanuel's deal here is a lot better. He's asking 90.
Your thing's in Gurabo too.
What was your reno amount, Adon? 60?
80.
80?
Adan's at 80. I'm at 60. It depends what you do to it.
You
But
know,
you're anywhere between.
Even if I bought it, so what I was thinking, and I have made you the offer, I'll make it here. I think my numbers were 80,000, and I think I was doing it at 230. I think I was gonna make you an offer of 80, so I'd be all in at 160 or something like that. And then 230.
You're right there. Okay.
Yeah, minus 80. You know, I was gonna be 10 grand less, but you know, I still thought it could have been a good deal that way. There's my offer, Emmanuel. 80K.
All right.
Take
All
it,
right.
or go swim in the ocean with the sharks.
All right. Renee was gonna call you. Did you talk to him?
Renee called me. I talked to him. I told him
Okay.
what I'm telling everybody here.
Okay. Just making sure.
Nothing different.
But yeah.
Look, you guys, that confirms to me that that's a good deal. If Adon's at 80, honestly, I was going to ask the question, Adon, because I figured you had probably made the offer yesterday. I thought you might
I was
have
gonna
offered
start
him
at
40.
70.
I thought you would start at like 40 or 45. Just knowing
I was thinking about it, but it's Emmanuel.
you don't want to overpay. So if you're offering him 80, it's probably a pretty damn good deal at 90. But also, if Emmanuel, if you're clearly buying it for less than 80, that's a quick flip. That's some money for both you and Edward.
Yeah. So I've got someone who's ready to give me the 90. They're doing some due diligence, so I'm waiting on them to come back to me. They're gonna go tomorrow again to do some, walkthrough with
That's
the
okay. I mean,
contractor.
we understand that too. I mean, you wait for the higher offer, but
Right.
tomorrow when he doesn't come in with the higher offer, Don unfortunately will have to offer you 70.
That's fine. It is what it is.
That's what's gonna happen.
It is what it
And
is.
they're gonna pay the closing costs.
No, I'm just messing with you. That's
Oh,
cool.
I know.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
true.
But-
I'm gonna do
awesome.
60.
Yeah, but at the price that I was buying, that I am buying, I wanted to keep it. I still think it's an amazing deal to keep too. I just don't have I don't know how to structure it right now where I can keep it. So that's why I decided to move on.
Well, your
and
4
Sharon
units or
or
less.
who-
Can't you do a DSCR loan once you have it fixed?
So I thought so. I was talking to the two DSCRs that I know, which is Colab and then Sunwest, and
Uh-huh.
they're both on that. It can't be your first property, so it has to be an additional property.
Has to
You
be a
can live
second
in one of the
property.
units, but it can't be your first property. So
Wow. So that's interesting. I've never heard that, but I
yeah,
mean,
so
I'm
the
a
two
But what if?
mortgage broker.
But what if you bought it? Your wife, let's say you're the one on the lease renting it, but then your wife gets an FHA. You're not married anyway, so they're not gonna look at you anyway.
yeah,
But,
but the problem is that she's not really getting any income right now, and
Yeah.
if she
all right,
was
I'm
getting
just giving you a
income,
scenario.
no,
We
no,
can find someone else to be your wife. It's okay. We'll find somebody.
it's
But what I'm
so
saying is, you can get someone else to do an FHA. You partner with them, and then you guys refi out.
that's
Give
what I was
yourself
planning to
money.
do. I
Yeah.
can get an FHA, but I need to wait one more year because since I just got my what do you call it, my taxes, I just filed them as professional services. I need to do 2 years of that consistently so that the bank can see, okay, that's what you're doing. Okay, we can corroborate your income and do your thing. But I need to wait at least a year. So
They're gonna make it difficult anyway.
yeah. So
It's better to find somebody who really has a real job
exactly.
and partner with them, and then you guys split the profit or something like
Yeah.
that.
I was thinking about it. I didn't know who I was gonna talk to for this because I hadn't like this was just wow. It's in a great spot. It's in San Juan. It's a multifamily. Like it doesn't get better than where this is. Like you're in the middle of everything. It's a good area, right? So
What part of San Juan?
This
it's
is
called
so Robert. It's like 10 minutes from my house or less, something
yeah.
along that way.
Like
You're in between my house and like Plaza La America, something like
Yeah. Yeah.
something between.
is that Puerto Nuevo?
No.
No,
It's
it's
Reparto
more like
Metropolitano.
yeah,
That's their college
repartos.
town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Juan
that's
Perón
like
loves buying there.
yeah. It's a good area. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah, it
houses.
is. Good area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you show it to Juan, by the way? Now thinking about it,
No. I didn't even know Juan was buying. I just knew
Juan
he
always
does the
buys.
Juan Perlon.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a buyer and he likes that area. Also, what about Willie and Sharon and Jose and Angela? I know it's neither of those two are in that area, but this could be a good deal for them.
well, I sent it through the group and I think
what group?
Willie
What
through
group?
the Apex.
An exclusive group? Oh, you sent it through Apex.
No,
Yeah,
I
both are
sent it.
exclusive.
It's still an exclusive group, but
But the
not
premium
for
group, the
the
VIP.
Rainmakers.
Ah, tell me about it.
Well, Willie and everybody are a part of Apex as well. So,
And I was doing the finders, and when I did the finders last week, I did a walkthrough of the house. Who was there? Jonathan was asking a few questions, so he saw it. He's not buying in that area, which is I guess the reason he hasn't really texted me about it. But he was asking a lot, so he saw it. I think Willie was in the class as well. Sharon always in the class, so I don't know. Maybe I know Sharon really wants to buy like in Cagua, Gurao,
Macau.
what's Humacao, yeah, like over that southeast side. That's where she wants to buy.
yeah. Yeah, she wants to be Humacao if she can.
Humacao, yeah,
But they're
Humacao is the
looking
biggest one.
everywhere. They're looking from Humacao all the way to Rincon.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw Willie's looking at something Barceloneta too. So
Fajardo, everywhere.
yeah,
They look at everything. That's the way you have to look at this stuff, guys. I get calls weekly that are like, oh well, there's no good deals. How many offers did you make? 1, 2 in the last 3 weeks. That's why there's no good deals, because you're not looking hard enough or wide or broad enough. So just look everywhere and look at everything. That's the first lesson I got when I sat in that little Ford Escape. He's like,
Yep.
look at everything. It doesn't matter, big or small. Go look at it. You never know when the opportunity's right there.
We did. Adon and I drove around for a year and a half and we looked at $10 million teardowns and we looked at $5,000 shit boxes.
Yep.
And really anything that anybody ever asked us to look at, we would look at them. And guys, It was at the time I was still learning the market, right? Like I had been on the island for a few years. We'd been making money, but I was just driving around and learning the market. I would say Adon and I driving around and looking at all of those houses is what really kind of made it so that we both know this island, especially the San Juan metro area, pretty much like the back of our hand.
And you
I
just never
still don't know
know.
the names of the neighborhoods, but I know when you tell me the area near Plaza Las Americas, I know who's buying there. I know what they sell for there. That's what you get from looking at 1,000 fucking houses and making offers on them again and again and again.
So one more thing I'll add to that is you never know when the opportunity strikes. So that $10 million teardown Robert talked about, we went to look at that and we're like, these people are insane. But we're inside this exclusive neighborhood, so let's drive around. And that's how we found the McMansion.
Yep.
And you just never know where you're gonna be and where the opportunity is gonna meet you. So
that's why you always got to drive around. Drive around.
Look at today. I went to San Juan. I looked at 2 deals, and I think one of them is really just outstanding.
And you just made an offer on a Manuel's deal.
And I did.
That's the other thing that I would say is, guys, you don't look at enough houses. And I'm not talking to anyone specifically, but many people don't look at enough houses, and almost everyone don't make enough offers, and even people that are making offers don't make the offers fast enough. So you saw how quickly Adon, saw a house with Emmanuel yesterday, made an offer live on the air here today. Emmanuel, I'm not kidding when I say that this kid's got deals all the time. It's because he's looking at deal after deal after deal. How many deals do you bring to us that you think you've got under contract where you can make money versus how many to look at that don't ever become deals, Emmanuel?
Well, the deal
One to
usually
100.
the deals that I bring on, I would say like maybe like 30% doesn't become into anything. I'd say like 30% is like I found this, I got an offer accepted, but it fell through for whatever reason.
Oh no,
Or
and I'm even asking about how many things do you look at that you never even get an offer accepted?
oh
20 to 1.
like 20 to 1, yeah. Like
Yeah.
this week alone, I've made like fucking, I don't know, 15 offers already. And I don't get, seller finance, cash deals. I went and look at stuff and I try to do sub two, all sorts of sort of offers that I can try and imagine. I'll try to make them, and they'll say no, no, no. Like it's no after no after no after no. And it gets, it's tiring. I'm not going to say it's not. Like,
Yeah. Oh, we lost Emmanuel for a second. Oh, there he
there we
is.
go. So it's
You know,
tiring, but that's part of it. You got to be consistent because that's how you get these deals.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Yep. And Adon, you're now doing the same thing. You and I have done a bunch of deals together, and we're always looking to buy the next one. You've got your brother out there making offers. Obviously, you're looking at the stuff that Emmanuel brings to you. You don't mind paying a wholesaler either. Like you're
Hell no.
like me. I mean, we're buying something in Florida that's coming through a wholesaler. And guys, it's in my neighborhood. I mean, I could walk there. I do walk there. We routinely walk down that street, Baxter and I.
It's all about the numbers.
Yeah, but I that house that we're getting on Page Avenue that's a block away from my house, it was never on the market. It wasn't for sale.
What you
So
lock
these
it up for?
wholesalers go out and get these deals off market. It's amazing, and I'm happy to pay them. And McKenna, have we seen the assignment contract? Do we know what they're making? They're probably making 30 grand on us, right?
They blocked out how much they're making, so we don't know. But I bet they're making 20 or 30 grand.
Yeah, and that's great. Good for them. I don't mind paying a wholesaler who this guy who's selling us this house, this wholesaler, Don, he's from Arizona. How the hell did he get that
Look at
under
that.
contract?
That's
He's-
awesome.
He's just putting offers all over the country to get stuff, and then he's selling it to me, and it's in my backyard.
Yeah. How much did you guys get it for?
We got it for $235.
Nice.
Yeah, and yesterday we thought it was probably a $50,000 or $60,000 renovation. Today we think honestly that we can go in and clean it and paint it. If we don't want to add a bathroom and add a little square footage, we can renovate this house for less than 10 grand for sure. I went back over McKenna after you and I left. There's a little bit of wood rot on the outside, so we got to paint it inside and out, fix a little wood rot. But the
Are you doing it
AC
with
is
Scott?
good, the roof is good, the windows are good, the appliances are good, the kitchen is good, the one bathroom that's there is good, the floors are good. I mean, it's kind of a miracle that it's in as good a shape as it's in.
Are you
If we
doing
want
it
to
with
add a
Scott?
bathroom, it'll cost us another 15 grand. Yeah, we're gonna give Scott we're gonna throw Scott a bone. Did you tell Scott we have it under contract, McKenna?
I did. I told him we're gonna give him $1,500.
Be happy?
He's pretty happy.
Yeah. So all he did last night, guys, was tell us about a deal while we were on the YouTube live, and we happened to be buying it. Now that certainly doesn't happen all the time, but we're gonna buy it, and we're gonna throw Scott some money. You know why? Because I want him to call next time too. I want him to tell us about it next time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're gonna pay a wholesaler, and we're gonna pay a deal finder in this case.
Do you want to talk about your Rincon property real quick? We've got about 20 minutes left.
Yeah, let's talk about Rincon. Are you able to pull it up, McKenna, on your end? If you put Fly Corsica in,
Sure.
do you have? You can pull it up on the map. Do you have pictures or anything?
Let's see what I can find.
Sorry that I know that we talked about me talking about this, and then I forgot that I was going to talk about it.
Yep.
Which these guys know it, but I'll tell you. So here's what we got as McKenna's pulling it up. I've got 3 acres of oceanfront property with about 500 feet of direct ocean access. You know, in Puerto Rico, that the beaches are for the public, so we don't own the beach, but our property sits right there on the beach. And we have a 16-room guest house hotel
Right here.
that is freaking amazing. There's a picture of it. It's beautiful. It's in incredible shape. Got a mural in every room. So you got a lady on the wall that climbs in bed with you at night, a little mural. She's awesome. It's operational, it cash flows. Then behind it, we have a 50 park trailer park where people put their fifth wheel trailers on there and then they pay us lot rent. And that cash flows, and that community is freaking awesome as well. People have been there for 35 years with their trailers. We've got a senator, a judge, we've got someone high up with the electric company in there. That community is just phenomenal. And what happened is I've had this deal since COVID, and we're going to own this deal for a long time. We keep increasing the cash flow, and I moved actually to Camoy so that I could be close to this property. This is my kind of pride and joy. We have a reduction of principal on the seller financed loan that's it's actually due tomorrow. So I had it all lined up, and while we were in Europe, the guy who I've done a bunch of deals with that was doing it, he backed up on me, and then I have just been getting home and haven't had a chance to put it together. So I'm looking to raise $450,000, and we can do it in two ways or a combination. We could do it in three ways, I guess. There's 6% of total equity for the 450, and guys will be all in with you or somebody else investing the 450. We're going to be all in on that for like $5.5 million. Today, the current valuation I've got at like $9.5 million. And as cash flow goes up, as time goes on, I think we'll get the thing to 11 or $12 million over the next several years. I plan to own it for a while, and cash flows have been coming in steady and current the entire time we've owned it. We increase cash flow every year. I could also set it up as a loan, which is maybe the way I'd prefer to do it. And if someone wants to do that, but in all honesty, I think it's better that you'd come in as an equity partner, because I think there's a lot of upside. Am I missing anything on that, McKenna? Or we could do a combination of some equity and some of the loan.
I think the main thing you're missing, or maybe you already mentioned it, but you're selling it what I think you're giving people a sweetheart price because you're doing it so last minute because the guy backed out. I mean, the day one gain, if you're at that $9.5 million valuation that you think it's worth, it's pretty substantial. It was like 28% gain on your money. Now you're locked in for it's a multi-year investment, but you very quickly start high on your equity.
Yeah, you're basically coming in at what we were doing when we first bought it 5 years ago. And we've got, I mean, when I say there's room to improve our cash flow, there's tons of room for us to improve the cash flow. We've got an entire vacant lot that could have another 10 or 12 trailers put on there, and they would pay lot rent. Or we could put a restaurant. We've also got a couple of upcycled shipping containers that need to be placed somewhere in the park that would increase our nightly rental income quite a bit as well. So over the next several years, we're going to go from about $80,000 a month that it brings in now, I think, up to close to $200,000 a month. So we'll get some people selling massages, and we'll have a little kiosk, maybe a coffee shop. We'll have a little restaurant. We'll have more of these nightly rental upcycled shipping containers come onto the property. And probably will increase the amount of trailers that are paying us lot rent. So there's multiple places where we can increase cash flow. And last year we increased cash flow quite a bit. The year before that we increased cash flow quite a bit. And this year already, year over year through the first 2 months of 2026 compared to 2025, we're on pace to increase another 20%.
Can I say something here? Real
Please.
quick? Yep. All right. These guys are underselling this thing. They're doing a great
Are we?
talking about numbers. They're doing a great job of showing you pictures, but it doesn't. Let me say it like this. If you have money in the bank and have analysis paralysis and been stuck saying, I can't find a deal, I don't know what to do, blah, 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 whatever excuse you put in front of yourself, you are getting a one-in-a-lifetime chance to own a hotel in front of the ocean that at a price that it is really a bargain price. And not only that, it comes with 30 plus years of experience, a full management team, and people that if you need to find them tomorrow, they're usually on YouTube, and they'll probably give you their address because Robert doesn't care who it is. They'll invite anybody to their house. So there's nothing to worry about here. The point is, you're not only buying into a deal because of the numbers, you're buying into the deal because these are people that you would trust with your money and your hard-earned work, So I just want to point it out. Every time I talk about partnerships with people, I say it like this: are you ready to get married for the next year or so? Because that's what's gonna happen. You're marrying your partners because you guys, and you just have to be at the same level, trust in one another, and just let yourself get taken along the ride. It's gonna be pretty awesome. If I had the money, I remember when you first bought it, I was like, I want in this deal. I don't know how. I was like, I'll do sweat equity. I don't know what you want me to do, but I want in.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice of you, Adon. I appreciate it. And guys, we do have a PPM, so if someone's interested, send me a message. Most of you put it in the chat, and I'll reach out to you. But you can reach.
Yeah.
me
Is anybody interested? Put it in the chat right here, and we can reach out to you on WhatsApp.
This is one of those rare times where we did set up a syndication, and we've got a PPM, so we've got a way to invite accredited and a non-accredited investors in on this. And basically, you get in, roughly what people were getting in 5 years ago, and we're paying down some debt while you do it. So, yeah, that's that deal. Are there any questions about any of the three deals that we talked about? I think this was a pretty good Shark Tank. Not just because I just got to talk about my Rincon project, which I'm in love with, but also it's fun to do a flip, and I always like to see what Emmanuel's doing, and he's always got good deals going on, guys. So hopefully you guys all like that.
Shark Tank. There's some good deals. A good deal in Orlando. I think Emmanuel's deal sounds really good. I'm pretty sure that he's going to sell that pretty quickly.
I think he's going to get asking
$90,000 for a 4-unit.
Quad, yeah,
that's incredible.
In San Juan, in a good area. It's not like
near Plaza Las Americas in San Juan. That's great.
It's pretty good.
Definitely pretty good.
What everybody think of the show? We've got 35 people.
I'm excited
watching.
to get stuff on the contract for next week. I'm going to bring some deals next week.
Good.
There you go. Let's do it, Adon. Yeah,
if you're one of the 36
we got a few minutes left
watching,
in this Shark Tank too. If you have questions, we can open it up for question and answer, and then we'll go for a few more minutes, I guess. What time is it, McKenna?
I have a question.
5:51. Go ahead.
So I talked to the realtor for this deal I'm looking at San Juan. I think I could sell the units individually for $250,000. Now, 9 of the units I walked in because it's completely abandoned. And just like Robert said, if there's a for sale sign, they're inviting me in.
That's right.
And 9 of the units for sure you could tell that are units. It looks like the other 3 units used to be like commercial offices, small ones. And I would imagine there's just one lease for everything. I haven't dived deep into it. But so here's the big problem I saw. It's missing a roof at the top. And I have my renovation at $1 million. Should I increase my renovation?
And you're in Old San Juan.
Yes, but I already checked. It's not historical, so I don't have to deal with historical shit. I'm
That's
right
good.
at the borderline. It doesn't count for me.
So you're
And
like
I already
Porta
had
de
people check
Tierra
it
or
up.
something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. I mean, damn, Adon, you're pretty good with renovations. If you've told me that it was $1 million renovation, I usually argue with you, telling you that I think we can do it cheaper. So you're, you know, my guess is that you're probably have already built in 20%.
Yeah, that
Well,
I'm
did you
building
have-
in
did
like
you
a
have-
big spread, but
Yeah.
it needs. I went to it today. It's abandoned. You know, it doesn't even have the meter boxes anymore. They ripped them out. Someone stole all the copper and ripped them all out.
So
But
you're doing all new wiring, all new boxes,
everything
all new
everything
plumbing.
new. There's no way you avoid anything else. You
And
have to do.
what are you estimating like price per
Pardon.
square foot? $50 a square foot, $100 a square foot?
I
How
think
big
it's
is the building?
18,000 square feet.
Okay.
So what did I do?
That's a
Let me see.
big building. Wow. That's awesome.
It's fucking huge.
Wow.
It reminded me of 609. That's why I was like, oh, maybe, yeah, like $55 a square foot.
And you're thinking you're going to sell units for only $250 over there? I think.
Well, that
One.
was conservative, you know.
Yeah,
He's being
I think you're gonna do
conservative,
more.
but they're
I
not
think
big.
you do them nice.
So the way the distribution when I saw them right now, and I'm getting an elevator. Hold on. Fuck. No, I don't. I need to get this thing. All right. You hear me still?
Yeah.
So 9 of the units are distributed like they're like 2 ones,
Mm-hmm.
but they get smaller. So the ones at the further edge are the biggest, and then they start getting smaller as you go back.
Yeah.
But there's still 2 ones, and they look like if you can reconfigure a couple of them, you can make them all even units. What else?
Like
The ones that I
700-800
have
square
more.
foot units. Is that 700 or 800 square feet? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
You have
I would say
18,000
something
square
along.
feet and you have 12 total units.
Yeah. So the ones I'm not worried, but the ones that I think will have a little bit more interesting configurations are the ones that look like offices, to make them 2 ones, because they're just blank right now. But I could also keep the 9 units and make the one a big ass house.
Yeah.
And then
Again, are they already set up as condos and you can sell individual units?
No, see that's what I need to figure out. That was my question. I was going to follow up with them tomorrow. But because she's in Argentina, that's why she's not answering right away. But I was going to follow up because if it's already individualized, oh my God, that's awesome. If not, I have to go through the same headache you're doing at 609 or did already.
Yeah, it's a headache.
And I would need a partner.
You got to get a master deed. You've got to have architects, engineering, all of that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though I think you need that shit anyway, because it's just, I mean, I know I could fix it without any of that, but there is stuff that I won't be able to get away with.
Yeah.
So,
and if you have 18,000 square foot and 12 units, they're bigger than 700 or 800 square feet, unless you have a lot of hall space and common area.
There's a lot of hall space. There's not much common area. It's more hall.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 buildings, so the 9 units is 1 building, and then the other 3 it's a separate building. But there's a hallway in between, and then there's something. But I think, man, that could be fucking ridiculous deal. And I did 3 million ARV, you know, conservatively. I think if I put it on market, I start at 5.5 or something ridiculous.
There you go. That's a game changer. So you're thinking you can make between $1 million and $3 million profit? Not bad.
I think so.
That's not bad.
So.
That's a pretty good spread.
Yep.
Worst case is $1 million. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's worst case.
Wow.
But it's really, I think it's in a really good area. You know, it looks okay now. But you could see the potential. Everything around it is changing. So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm buying this in the worst neighborhood.
Yeah.
San
Yeah.
Juan is changing fast, and once they build that hotel, that's going to be right across. Forget about it.
That area is up and coming for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you have a big enough spread that it can't hurt to increase your renovation budget,
yeah, no,
especially
I'm
if
going to
you
take
get
the
it under.
contractor.
What I would do is I would run the numbers like you've done, and then once you get closer to having it under contract, and then you're going to think about putting together a syndication or something like that so that you're raising money. Maybe increase your renovation budget, knowing that the nicer you renovate those things, the higher you're going to get. So we
Yeah,
often say that you renovate to the neighborhood, but your neighborhood is renovating around you. So by the time you finish something like that, it's going to be worth significantly more.
yeah, no,
So
I think so. And this is a perfect play for Airbnb, for a guest house hotel. Like I ran the numbers without the Act 60, and it was about like net, it was about like 13-14%.
uh-huh.
But once you factor in Act 60, it all changes. And I did my
Yeah.
numbers super conservatively.
Yeah.
So, but I
Yeah.
don't want to run a hotel. I just want to get this thing
Well,
as
and
pretty
it
as
might be a lot
possible for
easier to
someone else.
sell individual units. So you just set them up
Yeah.
so that they've got individual units, and then you're selling the individual units. Maybe you end up keeping a couple of the units for yourself because you want to own some stuff for cash flow. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like that play a lot. To build the whole thing out and then divide up the pieces. I
Yep.
think that's
And
going to be
that's
profitable
my
for us
plan.
on our 609 building. I hope so. I'll let you guys
I'm
know,
hoping
but
so.
we're all in on that
I,
project where we
I'm hoping so too,
want
because
the
that's
whole
the business
building.
model I'm following.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's going to work. I think it will. All right. Do we have any questions, McKenna? Are we
No
good?
questions. That's it for tonight, guys. Everybody, we'll see you on Thursday if you're in Apex. Hope to see you at the masterclass.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.
This is Emmanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emmanuel, comment Apex and I'll send you the link.